Yo everybody, it's Anime James here giving you some new Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles. So today here, my opponent who was sporting a very well balanced team. He's sporting, as you can see, he's sporting the Lycanroc Day, the Mimikyu, the Salazzle, the Sarini, the Mega Scizor, and the Ninetales. And here in my team, as you can see, I'm sporting my Victini, my Samurott, my Bastiodon, my I actually forgot what that one was called. My Gumshoes and my Unfezant. So yeah, this battle was plenty of fun. I did really well. I actually wanted to do a Pokemon Moon Wi-Fi battle before I could get back into Pokemon Sun. And I was just trying to get a team ready for the Pokemon Moon comeback. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my Victini because I thought it knew U-turn, but this is actually my special Victini. This special Victini sports the choice specs, and it knows Fire Blast, Energy Ball, Thunder, and Psyshock. So his Lycanroc is going to go for the Accel Rock, but luckily my Victini survives, and I'm going to get the Energy Ball off, and that's going to take out the Lycanroc. I was actually expecting it to be a focus sash Lycanroc. But anyway, now he's gonna send out the Mimikyu. So I decided to just use another Energy Ball just to knock off the disguise. It's gonna go for a Swords Dance, and I knew that he was probably gonna go for a Shadow Sneak or a Shadow Claw. So after I knock out the disguise ability, I decided to swap out to my Gumshoes. So yeah, I swap out to my Gumshoes, and it's unfortunately not fast enough to kill off the Mimikyu. So it's gonna go for the Play Rough, and that's gonna knock down. And so I just decide to sack off my Gumshoes if it's not fast enough. So I decided to send out my Bastiodon, and no, this was not a Donald Trump joke. But anyway, I sent out my Bastiodon. I decided to go for a Toxic just to try and get this Mimikyu out of here because I wasn't sure if my Bastiodon was bulky enough to survive its attacks. But luckily, it is. And so I just wanted to get my rocks up before I used the Roar. This is actually like a Roar Toxic Taunt Bastiodon set. And so I'm gonna set up the Stealth Rocks, but first he's gonna go for another Swords Dance. Gonna be increasing its attack stat by 4, and so I'm really hoping that my Bastiodon is just bulky enough to withstand Stab Shadow Sneak with a +4 attack stat boost. And I'm gonna be reviving a little bit of HP left with the leftovers. So here comes the Shadow Sneak, and luckily my Bastiodon does survive the 4 times powered Stab Shadow Sneak. So I'm gonna go for the Roar so I can cancel out its attack boost, and he's gonna send out his Ninetales. Okay, now it's obviously going to be a Aurora Veil Ninetales set, because who wouldn't sport one on their team? And so it's going to get buffed by it's going to get attacked by the Stealth Rocks, and I'm going to get buffed by the Ice, but I'm going to regain my HP with the leftovers. And so it's going to go ahead and use the Aurora Veil, and I plan to stall this thing out until the Aurora Veil and the Hail wears off, so I use a Toxic on it. And it turns out that it actually holds the Icinium Z. So it's going to use the Ice Z move, and it's going to completely knock out my Bastiodon in this next turn. Right after this leftovers recover. And this poison. So yeah, my Bastiodon goes down, and this is where I decide to send out my Gintoki, the Samurott. So I could get a Retaliate off, but I forgot that the Aurora Reveal is still up, so that's going to reduce Gintoki's Retaliate. But first it's going to go for the Freeze Dry, which I was not expecting. But luckily my Gintoki is bulky enough, I actually put some EV training into its special defense and physical defense, so I'm going to go for a Retaliate. That's not going to do much, but luckily, now that my HP is down below 50%, I'm gonna get my turn ability off, and I'm gonna use the Aqua Jet, and that's gonna KO the Ninetales. And luckily right here the hail stops too, which is good. Now he's going to send out his Scizor. Now, I'm not really sure if this is going to be a defensive defog Scizor or if it's an offensive Scizor. So I decided to swap, but I didn't want to take any chances, so I decided to swap my Gintoki out with my Unfezant. And you know, if it's an offensive Scizor, then I was planning on sacking off my Unfezant. It's going to Mega Evolve into the Mega Scizor, and it's going to be using the Swords Dance. So I'm pretty sure that a bullet punch is going to be coming out of this thing, and it's going to knock out my Unfezant. So unfortunately, I'm gonna sack it off. But fortunately, the Aurora Reveal wears off too at the same time. So down goes my Unfezant. Now I'm gonna swap out to my Victini, and I'm hoping that it can survive a bullet punch from this Scizor. I don't know if it was a mid-click or he doesn't have Bug Bite on there, but fortunately my Victini survives just a little bit long enough, and my Fire Blast hits it. Just so you all know, even though Victini's ability Victory Star boosts your team's accuracy, it does not boost it all the way because I did miss a couple of times with Thunder and Fire Blast. So out comes the Mimikyu. I decide to sack off my Victini, and my Victini is going to go down, and I decide to send out my Samurott, my Gintoki the Samurott, and you know, because I EV trained him in physical and special defense, I'm hoping that either the Aqua Jet has more priority or he'll survive this Shadow Sneak, and luckily he does, and that's going to be enough to pop my Lychee Berry. This is a physical Samurott set. It holds Razor Shell, Aqua Jet, Mega Horn, and Retaliate. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to get the Aqua Jet off. And now here he's going to send out his Tsarini. Unfortunately, my Gintoki did not come out with any good IVs and speed, and Tsarini outspeeds Samurott by just two speed stats. Samurott's base speed is 70 and Tsarini's is 72, so I go down. And so now I'm gonna send out my Ribombee, the savior. I just remembered his name. The savior Ribombee, so I'm gonna get a Quiver Dance off. And he's gonna go for the Play Rough right here. Luckily the thing about it is that it wasn't that strong enough, so it didn't activate my Focus Sash. So I'm gonna get the Pollen Puff off it, and now all he has left is his Salazzle. I'm really hoping that this is a Focus Sash Salazzle, not a Choice Scarf Salazzle, because I wasn't sure if my Ribombee was able to outspeed it, but it does, and I go for the Psychic, and that's going to be the game. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this Pokemon Wi-Fi battle, and if you could subscribe, like this video, that would really help me out a bunch. I'd really appreciate it, and I hope to see you all guys next time. Later!